Simply allow your hands to slowly move to the thighs or the knees. If you feel you need to be a little bit more grounded, the palms can face down, perhaps thumbs and index fingers touching. And if you feel that you truly need to receive the energy that permeates everything that exists, then the palms can face upwards. If you are in Chin Mudra, the fingers would be extending outwards. And we will begin to tune into our breath. As we inhale, we count up to 3. And exhale, taking the same count, 3, for 2, for 1. Now inhaling for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale through the same count. And now inhale for a count of 5. And the inhalation reaches all the way to the crown of the head, the eyes, the back of the head, the throat, the chest, the mid-rib cage, the abdomen. The exhalation will be the same count. And take 2 more cycles of breath with the same count. So 5 on an inhale. And 5 on the exhale. Your spine is tall, breathing into the tummy now, the back of the body, the mid-rib cage, the chest. And exhaling, last count of 5. Now bring an inhalation of a count of 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the chin slightly towards the chest. The back of the neck is long and hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either repeating or taking a count of 7 on the way in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding the breath for 7 counts or 6 counts. Releasing the chin. Exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chin to chest, either holding. If you don't feel too great holding the breath, then you can begin to exhale. When you have completed your count, the chin lifts back up to release the breath, all the air out. And now, with an inward attention, begin to invite yourself towards child's pose. So child's pose can be with the knees wide apart and the arms reaching all the way forward. Or it can be with the knees together, the forehead forward and the arms back. So that is a classic child's pose that allows the spine to be more flexed. And in the first variation with the knees wide, the spine is more in extension, like a slide back bend. And here you can take a little wiggle and any adjustment that you need to begin to feel more at ease. If there is the sound of the music was too loud, then you can always throw me a little message to let me know if you cannot hear my voice or if the music is too loud. You might hear or might not hear the music, and that's okay. And knowing that the practice requires us to be acutely present to the sensations that we are experiencing. so that there is nothing that you can see that makes you or wants you to change the way that you look in the posture, because the posture is uniquely yours. You might choose to have a bolster underneath your torso or a blanket underneath your ankles or above the heels, in a way to really make the posture suit your needs, suit your body. And I will read something that is the message for today's class. And its title is Loving Yourself. I begin to realize that inquiring about my own origin and goal, I am inquiring about something other than myself. In this very realization, I begin to recognize the origin and goal of the world. In loving ourselves, we also love the world. For just aspire. Welcome Julie, welcome Lisa. You can take child's pose or any variation of that. For just aspire, rock and water are all made up of molecules. Everything, including you and including me, is connected by a small piece of the beginning. Yet, how do we love ourselves? It is as difficult at times as seeing the back of your head. It can be as elusive as it is necessary. I have tried and tripped many times, and I can only say that loving yourself is like feeding a clear bird that no one else can see. You must be still and offer your palmful of secrets like a delicate seed. As she eats your secrets, no longer secret, she glows and you lighten. And her voice, which only you can hear, is your voice bereft of plans. And the light through her body will bathe you till you wonder why the gems in your palms were ever feasted. Others will think you're crazy to wait on something no one sees. But the clear bird only wants to feed and fly and sing. She only wants light in her belly. And once in a great while, if someone loves you enough, they might see her rise from the nest beneath your fear. Those in child's pose, you can slowly begin to enter a neutral position, which could be laying on your front, and you can take even a minute to enter that position of countering what you did. If you are laying on your belly, you can have your head resting on your palms and the legs extended. So loving yourselves requires a courage unlike any other. It requires us to believe in and stay loyal to something that no one else can see, that keeps us in the world, our own self-worth. So letting this be a practice that empowers that ability to love yourself. So as you feel your body, as you inhabit your body, as you feel your body with prana, with breath, with chi, with soulfulness, you can imbue or coax this love to every inch of you. Slowly begin to enter a seated position in which you can see the screen clearly. I will need to just change something. I want to see you all. So, if you need to sit on a cushion to make this pleasant for you, please get a cushion. And it's quite helpful to elevate the hips so that the knees are not struggling. We'll begin by sending the arms out, and the fingertips might be able to root on the ground, so making tents with the fingertips on the ground. And if you're not able to do so, you can make fist and have the fist hovering off the ground. Let's begin by sending the chin towards the chest. And then it's the chin that slides over to the left-hand side, so it's as if it was scraping through the collarbone as you gaze over to the left-hand side. And as you take your gaze over to the left-hand side, you can begin to lift the chin as you slowly drop the head back, creating a circle. And then over to the right. So it's more the chin towards the shoulder than the ear towards the shoulder, and keep the shoulders down. And then scrape the chin towards the chest or through the collarbone as you move back to center. And repeating one more cycle. And taking your time, if you experience any place that is tender, you can back away from that place like 20% so that there is not too much tenderness. And when you're moving through the front, it's the chin that is initiating the movement more than ear to shoulder as we do sometimes. And then when the chin moves towards the chest to the center, you start to invite the circle over to the other side. But can you make the neck and the head be the ones that are moving with this instead of the shoulders? So can the shoulders and the arms stay down? So it's almost as if we wanted to isolate this to simply the head and a little bit of the neck. So it will be 2 cycles. And in the slowness is how you show yourself how present you are for the feelings of your body, for the sensations inside the tissues. Once you have completed the cycles, you can bring slowly the chin back up. And if you haven't completed the cycles, don't need to send the chin up just yet. So now we will send the left arm almost by the side of the ear. And the palm is facing up as if you were serving soup. And now the thumb is facing back, but then we start to open the elbow out as we send the arm out. And then you reach it back. And then you reach it across over to the right hand side, but try not to decrease or shrink on the right side of the sideways. It's more of an elongation. So take it more of an elongation and opening as you gaze over to your left hand side. Taking a big inhale, the right hand can be somewhere along the mat. And when you're ready to come out, you can do so on an exhale with the fingertips reaching back and out and back to center. So now your right arm will reach out. We'll shift the thumb down. And we bend at the elbow to send the arm behind you. And it can hug the sideways or the lower back. And this arm once again will move through the front and the fingertips are spinning. And this time as you reach the elbow out, send the hand behind your head. Maybe the fingers will reach to the opposite ear on the right side. And now begin to twist your torso. So you can twist over to the right hand side back to center. And here the breath is soft, the tummy is soft, so opening to center. And then taking a little twist and your hand is pressing a little bit on the head, even massaging the ear. So twisting open and then rotating the torso back over to the right. And then releasing the hand. And we shift over to the other side. So first the left hand goes down. And the left arm is the one serving the soup. So the fingertips begin to spin, the elbow reaches up. And here try to feel it as much in the shoulder as you feel it anywhere else. As you reach over to the side. So here, try to almost have no creases on the left side of the body as you lengthen, as you open, as you gaze over to the right. Your own exhalation, begin to spin that hand. Bringing it back to center. And then the left arm reaches up, thumb down. And spin the hand as far back as you can so the thumb is reaching back. This is an internal rotation of the shoulder. The hand goes back behind you. And the left arm, once again, circles, cycles, and the head is supported by the hand. So we open up the chest here. And maybe the fingers to the ear. And then as you exhale, twist over to your left. Gaze over the left shoulder, and as you inhale, come back to center. And doing so a couple of times. So it is up to you how much you rotate, where does it feel nice for you to rotate. So the hand is behind you and you're rotating, and then opening up when you're ready, and then back to another rotation of the torso, the upper back, the neck, and then slowly begin to undo that, releasing slowly the hand out, perhaps in the same motion that you did before. And this is to nourish the joints in the body. And here you can grab a cushion, a block, or an imaginary block if you don't have one. If you need to change the position of your legs, you can. And if we grab a block, we will grab it from the sides, and you can extend the fingers here. So the block is in collarbone level or so. That's it. And then reach the shoulders towards your ears first. So elevate the shoulders as much as you can, and then keep that, but start to spread the shoulder blades apart. So bring the block towards me, towards the screen, and then down. Shoulders go down, and now back. So shoulder blades hike in. It's almost as if you were creating a square. So again, shoulders up. And try to keep the other parts of the body as stable as they can be. So then the block goes forward, downwards, backwards as you squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. And now back up. And now pause here. Squeeze the block a little bit, or whatever you have. And then reach the shoulder blades back and down. And then forward, create space in between the shoulder blades, and then up. And then back. And down. So let's repeat, but more than a square, try to make a circle so the shoulders go up. Forward. Down. Back. And up. And reverse that. And then you can slowly begin to release the block. So you can place it on the side of your mat. Returning to a child's pose position. You won't be there for long. So in your child's pose, begin to send the hands forward, slide them forward, the knees neither too far wide, neither too close. And we will begin to invite almost a cobra transition, so you can begin to bring your sitting bones up, leaning your torso forward, opening up the chest. And here, it really depends on your back. So air in the side of caution, the pelvis starts to soften towards the floor, but lengthen the spine more than you want to. So instead of just collapsing onto the lower back, get long on the sides of the body. And then press with the hands again to transition back into child's pose. Big toes lying, touching. And you can do so a couple of times. If this doesn't feel right, you can choose cat and cow instead. So with the inhalation, begin to ripple forward. So imagine you being a wave. And get softer when you get to the front, the knees are down, the back of the body is relaxed. And here, micro bend the elbows. You can bring the chin towards the chest, and then again, maybe taking the gaze over to the right, maybe slightly back, peeling the right shoulder back perhaps. And then mindfully chin back to center. And returning into downward. I don't know why I keep saying downward child's pose. And again, there is like a little wave that starts small, takes the peak as you round the spine and you reach up and you move back into a mild back bend. So the elbows can always micro bend, and then your chin can move towards the chest, over to the left, maybe taking your gaze back. But beyond any movement, let it be an exploration. Let it be a connection to, oh, how does this feel? How does this feel for me? And whenever you're ready, coming back into child's pose, Balasana. And from Balasana, begin to enter now a tabletop position. So in an all fours position, the fingers are normally spreading forward, but you can let them spread out a little bit more to the side, or completely out to the sides or slightly back, so you can choose. And we will create a few rounds of cat and cow, but this time cat and cow will be initiated from the pelvis. So we will take the gaze slightly forward, cross your hands, and now it's the tailbone that initiates the movement. So the tailbone moves in, and then begin to create space in the lower back. One hand can touch the lower back, so you press into the lower back, and then the middle back, the upper back, everything getting expansive. Gaze towards the knees, and now angle from the pelvis. So the sitting bones move up and back. And then the belly gets expansive, the rib cage, the chest goes down, the collarbone spread, the chin lifts. And again, tailbone in. So taking a couple of transitions in which you feel that the spine is getting stretched in all directions. So it's as if you were breathing volume into the lower back as you expand. And normally the lower back gets a little bit stuck or blocked, and you breathe onto the lower back as you do this. And then see how much is your heart able to expand like a blossoming or flower as you open. And now if you need to change the direction of your fingertips, if your hands are a little tired, then you can do a couple more movements in which you are imagining that you are inside of arrow and your whole spine is almost scraping something that is inside the barrel. Imagine like anything yummy that that is inside the barrel and you want to scrape it also, you move from side and then down, over to the other side and back. And then exploring, maybe shifting the hips slightly back and the shoulders slightly forward. And then you can change direction. And for this, you can always close the eyes, because I know everyone is doing their own thing and nobody is paying attention to someone else's camera, and it's your internal practice. And slowly pause. And now begin to walk the hands back or slide the sitting bones back towards the sitting bones, and then the hands walk one at a time backwards. If this doesn't feel too great for you, have a blanket underneath your ankles or your heels, and the hands go to the thighs. And here sometimes it's easier to send the knees a little wider apart, so check what feels best for you. And just for a moment, initiate the movement again from the pelvis, so the sitting bones reach back, the tummy expand, let it expand, and then open up, collarbones broaden, throat forward, chin up. And as you exhale, begin to create that tucking in of the pelvis, of the tailbone, rounding the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, and the chin moves in. Pressing through the hands, inhale once again, and expanding, sitting bones back, tummy expands, chest expands. And now make fists with your hands, keeping the thumbs out. And place this in your tummy, in your lower belly. And this is great for the circulation of the abdomen. Everything we're doing is for a health purpose. So this is love for the abdomen, for the tummy. And if anything feels tender, as you begin to lean forward and eventually folding over the hands, if your knees are wide apart, then you might not feel much, so you can adjust. But having that little bit of pressure, it's like a little massage for the abdomen. If this doesn't feel right, you can always sit with the feet in front of you and have the hands in the tummy, and then have the knees in as you round the spine and lean slightly forward. So it would be the same, but in a different way, which is less pressure for the knees. Wherever you are, take a full deep inhale. The attention on the tummy as you exhale. Slowly begin to unwind the spine mindfully. You can round the spine to slowly begin to come up, or you can come up into a more straighter position. And slide again the hands all the way forward back into that tabletop. So in the tabletop, your fingertips can be slightly out or forward, I don't mind. Knees underneath the hips. And this time begin to lift one knee off the floor. So mindfully lifting the knee, hovering it off the floor, and try to keep the pelvis square. And now extend the leg back. Lift it. And now see if you can keep the heel up and the toes up. And try to keep the pelvis square as you send the knee out to the side, like a tree dog or dog in a tree. And then knee to center. And now reversing that so the knee goes out. And the heel reaches up as the thigh returns to the center of the mat, and lift it. And then back in. And then can you reverse that, but very mindfully. So now it's a upper leg bone that wants to lubricate and move and condition itself in that socket. And whenever there is movement, whenever there is a tension in the movement, there is blood moving into those areas. And once you have completed that, you can send the knee down for a moment. And now send the leg back up. We inhale. As you exhale, round the spine, make tens with the fingertips. Bring the knee as far towards the chest as you can, round the spine, and step the right foot forward. Good. So you can also round the spine here to lean slightly back and let that lift you up. Let that lift towards the up. So we will inhale to send the palms up, the shoulder blades can squeeze. As you exhale, let yourself soften. The arms become like a seaweed that moves forward, your gaze can go down. And then the arms move wide apart again. The pelvis can travel a little bit further forward if you press through the front foot. The gaze might go a little higher. And then in. And the movement is really soft. Inhale the arms. Remember, as if there were seaweeds, there is no rush in the arms. They begin to return forwards and the palms can touch. We inhale to send the arms up. As you exhale, direct the hands to the outside of the right knee or so, somewhere along that line of the outside leg. So now we shift the right thumb back and we circle that arm back. We follow with the gaze. And then we reverse. Arm goes down. Arms touch and then the arms go back up. Maybe a little opening. With the exhalation, the hands touch and they go back outside the leg. And then it circles all the way back. So I have an aura now. I have a halo rainbow. Shining through. We inhale once again to open. So taking the last cycle where you move as you must, and if that back arm wants to reach a little higher, letting the breath be what tells you the duration of the movement. And finally, once again, the arms reach out. And finally, the hands go all the way down towards the floor. You can lift that back knee, you can tap the toes. Shift your right hand to the outside of the right foot. And you can toe heel the right foot slightly out. You can either have the left knee down here or not, but begin to circle the pelvis in any way that feels nice for you. If anything feels tender, be tender with it. So there is no right or wrong movement. Even alignment on the knee, many times we keep it over the heel, but if something feels safe for you personally, then it is safe. You can shift the left knee down towards the floor. And now begin to walk the hands slightly back. You might need to use a couple of blocks or cushions or anything you have to slide the left knee back. And the right leg goes into a straightish position. The right knee can be slightly bent. Maybe the hands walk forward and you can round the spine. So some of you will have a tailbone slightly tucked in, like skirt cut. And some of you might choose to go into the more back bendy position, but that is stronger in sensations for most. So choose one where you can breathe for around 10 seconds of breath. The journey to freedom is inside. And sometimes it's inside those sensations of tension or discomfort. And all we can do is to breathe through it. The more we feel, the deeper we breathe. Allow 2 more slow, deep, easy breaths. And slowly begin to walk the hands. If they went back, you can walk them slightly forward. If they went forward, you can walk them slightly back. And for this one, be really mindful. We will press to the front heel to shift the hands to the outside of the leg and to shift that back foot back. So here you might need to adjust, but we want to create a little bit of extension on the outside of the leg, just only for a moment, where the front leg is trying to move into a completely straight position as you press to the outer edge of the foot. And slowly micro-bend that extended leg and knee as you walk the hands forward. Bending the front knee, planting the palms down, lifting the back knee, and stepping back to child's pose or downward facing dog. Moving the head from side to side, the neck from side to side. Any tensions, may they be released through our conscious intention. And slowly return into tabletop again. So forward into plank, and the knees go down. And left leg rises this time. So toes can be facing up or down, the hips slightly square. And then the knee goes out. Hips continue to be squared as you send the knees slightly forward, downwards towards the floor, almost to touch. And then reverse life, so the knee lifted, flexing, externally rotating out. And back, lifting. And down. Repeating that once more, lifting the leg, sending it out, downwards, forwards, and last time out, up, in. Reach the knee towards the front, fingertips down, stepping the foot forward. So how does it feel? We normally lift up with an inhalation, but now can you begin to soften the whole torso? As you soften the torso, the head is relaxed, and then you're simply exhaling as you lean back. And then inhale to reach the arms out. So remember how seaweed moves. It's not fast. The pelvis is allowed a little bit of freedom. So the pelvis, the spine, the arms. There's a lengthening of the sides of the body. And then adding the inhale. This time the arms reach all the way up. And as you exhale, the hands ascend to the outside of the left leg. Left arm reaches back and down, and back up. To the outside, circling the arm back. You can gaze back towards the hands, so letting your neck be free, your spine be free. And then returning when you're ready. So let the exhalation, your own exhalation, be what informs you what comes next. So one, last one. Your breath to its peak, to the biggest elongation. And returning when you're ready. Your arms go up, out, and then down. Hands touch down. You can tap the back toes. You can lift the back knee off the floor. You can toe heel the front foot slightly out. And you can create a few circles in the pelvis. So sometimes there are pains that come from lack of mobility, lack of circulation to certain parts, cartilage doesn't receive as much blood supply. So every movement we do is targeting this coaxing of blood, of chi into the parts of the body that rarely get it. Knee goes down, the back knee goes down. And then you can roll the hands back. There is a difference between this passive folding or unfolding than forcing or pushing or trying to get deeper. There is no forcing, not trying to go any deeper. Notice here if there is anything that you are not embracing. Is there anything now in these sensations that you're not embracing? And is there anything that you are embracing? Now the hands begin to walk back. And then you can let that front foot roll onto its outside edge as you spin. And as you spin, the hands will go to the outside of the leg. And there's a moment there where you might need to adjust anything to make it work for you. If you feel something on the outside of the leg, and if you don't, you can send that front heel slightly out, away. And then slowly slide the leg back in, walk the hands towards the front. Bend the knee, lift the back knee. Stepping back, downward facing dog or child's pose. So now we will invite some chi onto our legs. So from where you are, you can be on tabletop or down dog, but lift one leg up and begin to shake that leg. So that shaking of the leg is as if you were getting rid of anything that is heavy. So it's almost as a dog shaking its tail. Notice what happens when you send the leg down, perhaps any differences. Maybe a sigh. Moving on to the other leg. So leg lifts up and shake it out. So shaking the leg is lifted and you're shaking it as quick as you can and releasing. What do you carry? Any tensions, let it all go. And slowly releasing that leg down and coming back slowly onto your knees. Sitting back on the heels. If sitting on the heels doesn't work for you, come up here. And for a moment, let your palms face up or forward. And keep the arms like this. And simply bring the hands in. So they're still facing up. And now they come in. Now they face forward. So the thumbs in. And we shift them down. And we do that a few more times. So 2 more times just like this. Or like a gathering. And then I'm releasing. Do one more. You can even close your eyes. You don't need to see more than you need to feel. What would you gather? And what would you let go of? Now keep the palms facing slightly back. And lift again. So as you lift, the palms will begin to face slightly forward. And then we switch, the thumbs face up, palms back. And we release them down. And again, palms face back and up. And once you got it, then you don't need to see it again. You can soften. Your hands moving through mud or thick agave syrup. And from here, in any way that works for you, slide the hands forward and step 1 foot forward. So here is as if you were in a squat almost. Some of you might need to use a block to sit on, and that is an option. You might have a cushion or a bolster, or you might use none of it. It really depends on how does it feel for you. So ask yourself that and then choose. And this is some love for the toes. So here you can hug onto the shin or the knee. If this doesn't work, you can also sit like this with one knee out. And what we will do is to look at the toes and command your big toe to lift. Just your big toe. Sending the big toe back down and then back up, just a big toe. And then back down. Sometimes it will move, sometimes it will take some time to respond. And now all the other toes, and just the big toes stay down and all the other toes lift. And then send the toes back down. And then they lift back up. And then down. Now lift all toes. And from the little toe, one at a time begin to lower them as if you were playing the piano with the toes. So all toes lift. And then one at a time, they go down. And once you have done so, begin to lift your sitting bones up from where they are. And shift your left foot slightly out. Your hands will begin to brace or embrace. And imagine that the air inside the room is a bit thicker than normal. So the arms will begin to lift up. And the elbows bend as the palms face downwards and descend through the center of your body. When they are in heart level or so, let your right hand move over to the right hand side. So the palms will be facing the front. And now, in that thickness of the air in the room where you are in, sweep the right arm towards the center or so. Make a fist with that hand. The other hand begin to press and push as you were pulling, as if you were pulling onto a bow and an arrow. And the fingertips of the other hand lift up just as much as your nerves allow. And now again, face the palms forward. And sliding in so your torso can rotate a little bit in your gaze. Making a fist with your left hand now as the right hand pushes over an invisible wall. And the palms face back towards the front, slowly circling it forward. Arms slightly crossed, and we make fists that descend by the sides of the body. The elbows slightly hugging in, the shoulder blades squeezing. And that left foot is pressing firmly on the ground. Now, the left arm will begin to extend in front of you, taking that fist forward. And then we shift the palm down. Now extend the fingers right towards the front or the spring perhaps. And then up. So this is a full extension. And we will begin to invite one finger at a time as you did with the toes. As the palm reaches up. And invite it in. Back to the side of the body. Right arm forward. Spinning. Fingertips extend. And then reach out. And as you find the hand, make a fist, bring it back in. Now both arms. Arms slowly reach out and up. And as they descend, extend the left leg out, sliding the heel out. The toes can point in any direction. I don't mind. What feels best for you? And from here, once again, we circle the arms out and up. If you need a knee pad, take time to place it underneath your knee. So this is an inhalation now in the center. And your left hand will face down, your right hand will face up, and we push, separating heaven and earth. And then we circle the arms in opposite directions. The top arm goes down, the lower arm goes up to the height of the heart, of the chest. We return where we were. And as you exhale, begin to press away. Eventually you can shift your gaze over to the side of the bottom hand. Let's do this twice more. So the exhalation helps you push away, gazing over to the left as the right arm is up. And then centering. Now inhale at the level of your shoulders or so. Bring it up to the collarbones level with the exhale. Take it up. And now inhale to bring the hands towards the heart space again. Micro bend that back knee if you need. And bring the hands towards the floor, underneath your shoulders or so. Now your right hand will reach out to the side, and then thread the right arm underneath the left. Perhaps you can place the right shoulder on the floor as you spin over to the left. And your left arm might be able to extend alongside the ear or so. You might even shift your gaze up towards the ceiling. You can press a little bit through the outer edge of the left foot. Sliding the right hand in. Left hand in, pressing through the left hand to unspin to come up. And beginning to walk the hands slowly back. So see if you can sit back very, very mindfully. And as you sit back, you can invite that left knee slightly in. The knee slightly micro bend. I don't know if you can see, but the index and thumbs will grab the patella, the kneecap, and see if you can swiftly move it up and down and from side to side. So it's very mild, but you can actually slide it or allow it to slide, and this allows a little bit of blood flow also to these areas so that no area in our bodies becomes flat. Then you can shift back by bending that left knee, and just for a moment hug the leg from underneath. So you can hug the hamstring either just with one hand and holding the other hand, or giving it a hug. And the leg doesn't need to extend all the way, but you can begin to take the leg towards a straighter position, pointing the toes out, then towards you, and then in, and then back down. And just because of time, we won't do too many circles. So now we shift it in, up, so the toes are slightly in, then up, out, and back down. From here, we'll shift onto the other leg, so simply leaning onto the side, bringing the knees down, and then stepping the right foot out. So here is where you can choose what works for you. Remember, this is for the toes. So we lean slightly forward. We grab the shin perhaps. Sometimes it helps to look at the toes, lifting the big toe only. And then sending the big toe down. And once again, just the big toe. Down. All the other toes. Down. All the other toes again. And back down. And now all 5 toes. From the pinky, from the little onto the second, and each one at a time down as if they were playing a piano, and then sending them back up. Playing the piano once again. And then leaning forward to come up, leg out. So you can choose if the leg is back and doesn't feel too great, then you can be slightly forward. Arms out. Inhale. Send. Palms face forward. Inhale. Left arm up. And slide it in. Sweep it in. In your fist. Pressing away. So a few more breaths, and it's normal. The palms face forward. And then over to the other side. Open your fist. Pressing, pushing. That's it. Then slowly palms face forward again to slowly return to center. Arms crossed. Arms by the side. I trust you can see me. We'll begin with the right hand. Being one with your breath. And more about the movement itself is, how does it feel? How does it feel to connect to each one of the fingers, of the wrist? Now both. So power, effort, and ease. Power and softness. Now the arms all the way up. As you exhale, foot slides out. And we inhale here. And exhale. So the arms circle in opposite directions. We come to center. This is still an inhale, and with the exhalation, we press away. Maybe taking the gaze to the side where the arm is down. Then back to center. Inhale. You can begin to slowly return to center with an inhalation. Take it up to the collarbones. With the exhalation, spin. Send it up. Then inhale, hands and heart. Leaning slightly forward. Hands touch down. Left arm up. And then underneath. Shoulder down. Gazing to the right or up to the sky. Right arm extends alongside the ear, so you can lean some of the weight onto the left shoulder. But at the same time, pressing through the outer edge of the right foot. Sliding the right hand back in. Pressing yourself back up to your hands. As mindfully as you can, sitting back. Adjusting your knee position. Invite your legs slightly forward. You can be slightly micro bend, and at the beginning, I didn't even know that my kneecap could move. But it's just circling around the kneecap, you can find that, yeah, it moves, and you can guide it where you want it to move. So we communicate with our cells so that they continue to work even better than they have. And then lean back. Grab the leg, hug the leg in any way that works. Take it towards extension, toes up. And then in, down. And then back in, up, out, and down. Leaning slightly forward. We will do one little forward fold in which your soles of the feet can be together or your legs can be wide. And right before we go into that forward fold, we will create some energy for I will tell you when we do it. So it's like the fingertips come closer together. And we send them back behind you. So there is an internal rotation of the arms extend back. This is if the nerves allow. This is for the large intestine. And then we spiral the hands, we send them out. The fingertips face down. This is for the lung meridian. And then up, pericardium. This might be quite sensitive for many, because there are a lot of nerve connections there. Fingertips almost towards the shoulders, heart. Down through center, small intestine. And here, it will be just a few breaths. It won't be full yin. Your choice of forward fold. Mindfully entering. You don't need to go too deep. How does your head feel, your mind space? Your heart space? How is it to live inside yourself and realize that there is nothing really missing if you are truly present to what's there? Nothing rejected, nothing missing. Embracing a breath as it comes in, filling you up. A release in a sigh and an exhale through the mouth or through the nose. Bring back up. And finally finding a laying down position, bending the knees, the hands move back and they help you to lay all the way down. So please, if you would like to take a little rocking of the knees from side to side for windshield wipers or a happy baby or any other movement, please do so. Eventually, when you're ready, you can enter Shavasana. In Shavasana, can you press through the back of the head and lift the heart space by lifting through the chest and letting the lower back to get a little bit more comfortable so that it can melt in the ground as you extend the legs out and away from each other. Connecting to each breath. Breath taking you back home. Each new breath entering the nostrils and reaching all the way down to your heart. Presence, gratitude, love, appreciation, compassion, kindness, let it all be within. And recognition of the breath that permeates you. Notice, where does it go? Where do you need it to go? You breathe onto your lower back and allow your lower back to press onto the floor to get volume in the whole of the back, all of the front. Tapping onto the deep wisdom within. The wisdom that becomes mercy. Gentleness. Love. Before we seal the practice, I will read the last excerpt from the book. When we believe in what no one else can see, we find we are each other. In all moments of living, no matter how difficult, come back into some central point where self and world are one. Where light pours in and out at once. And once there, I realize, make real before me, that this moment, whatever it might be, is a fine moment to live and a fine moment to die. So living up to the blessings, the aliveness that not only enriches and creates an abundance of nourishment for every part of you, but also the many parts of ourselves that have, in a way, died so that the truest part of us can become, unfold, or be rebirthed. Cursing your fingertips, the thumbs, spreading the toes, the fingers, maybe the arms extend and they stretch. And then rolling over to your side when you're ready. Finding a seat, the palms to the heart. And we draw the thumbs in between the eyebrows. recognizing, honoring, and loving all thoughts, even all fears and all insecurities and confusion, because we have the practice that helps them burn away and dissipate. We bring the thumbs to the heart to be the wisdom within that becomes kindness and love and gentleness. We bow to this, inhaling together, exhaling through the mouth, inhaling to chant, to hum, or to soak in the Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Pass, Pass, Pass. Namaste, everyone.